1510 and 105.3 FM.
The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of Money Radio staff, management, or advertisers, and do not represent an offer to buy or sell any securities. Some interviews heard on this program may be sponsored by the participants. It's time for Health Futures with Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth. This is Arizona's only show dedicated to providing you with expert advice on how to live a longer, healthier, and happier life. To learn more, call 602-264-8009. That's 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Bob Roth.
Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Cornelius Toft, and I am guest hosting our show today for Bob Roth. I work with Bob at Cypress HomeCare Solutions, and I'm the director of our memory care programs there. If you're just tuning into the show for the first time, Health Futures is a show about how our older adult population can live a longer, healthier, happier life. We've had the pleasure of bringing you this show for the past 4 years. And how are we able to accomplish this? We do this by bringing incredible line of guests along. Today, I'm here with Bruce Stec of Dispatch Health. Dispatch Health is new to the Valley, and it is an in-home urgent care. New concept in helping people have their urgent care needs met still at home. Welcome, Bruce.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Glad to have you here. Tell us more about Dispatch Health.
Sure. So Dispatch Health is actually new to the Arizona market. We just opened up shop about 1 month ago. However, we're not really new to healthcare. Dispatch Health started about in 2013 when our current CEO and founder was looking for an alternative solution to treating patients who really did not need to be seen in the emergency room. So he's an ED physician by training, almost 20 years of experience working in an ED. And so Dr. Prather was an executive in the Centura Health System right outside of Denver. And what he was really looking at were some of the top diagnoses that they were seeing. Many of them were fairly simple dehydration. They were looking at UTIs, the flu, fever were some of the most common things that they were treating, but they were doing so in an emergency department. So as an executive, he was looking at how can we reduce these number of patients and actually see them in the correct place. And at the time, the thought was, let's see them in the home setting. So they partnered with one of the fire departments in 2013, and they had essentially a chaser car that would go out with the ambulances that were then transporting patients to the emergency room. And in the car, they had a sundry of different items and materials and supplies so they could treat these patients. And what they would find is they would get on scene. They would say, okay, Mr. or Mrs. Smith, would you like us to treat you here in the home setting? Or would you like to go to an ED? Because your illness really is not that severe. And unsurprisingly, 96% of the time, patients said, yes, treat me here. And if anything, they were really surprised that we had those capabilities of being able to do so. The remarkable piece of all of this is in the trial period for 18 months, Dispatch Health was really able to circumvent and save over $1 million in healthcare expense and cost just in those 500 patients alone. Yeah, pretty remarkable.
And that's what we always love to talk about here is how we can save money as we age, how we can make things more economical, and to be able to cut down costs $1 million.
On only 500 patients, too. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. So what are they providing in the home for folks?
So we bring, we don't come with lights and sirens. We don't come even in a big conversion van or a minivan. We drive up in a Toyota Prius, which surprises everyone. But in that Toyota Prius, we have it outfitted with 7 big cases full of about 70% of the same material, equipment, and supplies that an ED would have, an emergency room would have. But we're able to bring that to the home setting and provide quite a few of those services. So Each one of the cases has its own respective specialty, right? So we have an eye case where we can treat eye infections. We can look at different eye irritations. We can treat pink eye. We have gastrointestinal cases where we can help treat nausea and vomiting. We have IV start kits where we can actually put in an IV into you and rehydrate you if you're suffering from dehydration.
And right at home, in the comfort of your own couch. You're not sitting on a gurney in an emergency room with the people running in and out and around you.
Exactly. We really believe that quality is the new convenience, and or convenience is the new quality. And being able to sit in your home, in your bed, rather than being in a waiting room in an urgent care, or even worse, in an ED, really goes a very long way. Our goal is to be on scene within 60 to 90 minutes. That's what we've been able to average in the Denver market. We've been able to do so even for the past month here in Phoenix as well.
You'd wait way longer than that in an emergency department.
Exactly.
You could be there for hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And most people are. That's typically what we get in response to, gosh, I'm surprised you guys were able to make it here in less than an hour. You were able to treat these pretty extensive list of issues that I had. Thank you so much.
All from a little car.
All from a little tiny Toyota Prius.
That is amazing. Who is it that is there doing the assessments and the treating then?
Sure. So we have, it's really a three-part team. We have an EMT who is licensed in the state of Arizona for us, and they're really the ones driving the car. They're bringing in the cases. They're helping the provider. The provider is an advanced practice provider, so it's either a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant. And when we're looking for the right provider to go in the home setting, we're looking for someone that has emergency room experience and at least 5 years of emergency room experience. So they're used to seeing many of these things that they're dealing with now in the home setting, but formerly in the ED. On top of that, we have a physician who works virtually, and this is an ED-trained physician where we can immediately call up. So the two people in your home would be the EMT, the advanced practice provider, and then on-call is that physician. That physician piece is crucial for us. Sometimes patients would just like to have reassurance from a physician. Other times we get on scene and we have some questions ourselves, so we can actually ask them and call them up immediately. That physician is dedicated to us for the day. They're not off working in another emergency room somewhere else and too busy to take our call. They can immediately pick up and we can have our questions answered for either us or for the patient.
And you talked about eye, you talked about gastro. Mm-hmm. What other types of things are they treating? Some
common things that we see, especially in the elderly population, are respiratory issues. So we can administer and treat asthmatic issues, some other chronic issues breathing issues that people may have. We have a nebulizer on scene. We can administer some other corticosteroids to help ease some of those issues. Skin tears are very, very common in the senior population. Mm-hmm. So we can come in and, believe it or not, out of the Toyota Prius in the comfort of your own home, you can receive stitches or staples if it's applicable for a cut or a fall that you may have sustained, a skin tear or some other laceration. All
without needing to get your arm or leg wrapped up, get into your mm-hmm. car, drive over to the emergency room.
Exactly.
Sit in line there and hope that you can get through the process of listening to all of the lights and bells go on around you.
Exactly.
People just sit at home within an hour.
Within an hour, yeah.
That's wonderful. When is it that people should not be calling?
So time's not when to call us. Crushing chest pain, that is absolutely a medical emergency and something that we are not suited to deal with. If you have stroke-like symptoms, you're vomiting blood, if you have a loss of consciousness, these are true medical emergencies, and those are the things that, even going back to when Dr. Prather was starting this program in 2013, those were the things were constantly understood, that it's better to be in an emergency room than to have somebody try to treat you in your own home.
Well, and even if you go to an on-site urgent care, mm-hmm. they're going to send you to an emergency room if you have crushing chest pains and symptoms of a stroke and things like that. Those truly need a lot more equipment than you can fit into a little Toyota.
Exactly. So we truly are the mobile urgent care. But even then, we can still do and treat some things that many urgent cares are actually diverting and suggesting that you go back to an ED for.
Yeah, things like stitches. That's wonderful
Exactly.
that you can treat that. We are coming up on our first break here. This is Michelle Toft. I'm here with Bruce Stec from Dispatch Health. And when we come back, we're going to find out more about what they are doing here in the Phoenix area after just coming over from Denver. So we'll be back soon.
Hey, Money Radio listeners, this is Gary Kalbaum. Make sure you tune in for my show, Investor's Edge. You'll get my take on the markets and the world and what to look out for tomorrow. Investor's Edge is one of Money Radio's longest-running shows, so don't miss it.
You can listen to Investor's Edge Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. here on Money Radio 1510 AM and 105.3 FM.
As a small business owner, you're always on the go. So how can you make sure you never miss a customer's call? Grasshopper. With Grasshopper, you get all the features of a business phone system. That's right. Grasshopper turns your cell phone into a business phone system that's affordable and incredibly easy to use. Get a toll-free or vanity phone number that's memorable and professional. Customers are forwarded to your phone and connected to you or your team wherever you are. And with our app, your outgoing calls and texts show up as your professional phone number. We'll transcribe your voicemails and send them to your email so you can determine their importance at a glance. So whether you're always on the go or working from home and need to keep business calls separate, or you simply want a professional tone, Grasshopper makes it happen. Set up your account in just minutes. There are no long-term contracts and support is 24/7. Get your calls, stay connected, thrive. Now get $20 off your plan when you visit grasshopper.com/radio. Grasshopper.com/radio.
Gravity is only a suggestion. Physics is just a theory. Impossible is merely an opinion. Monster Jam, celebrating 25 years of adrenaline-charged family entertainment. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Presented by official partners America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses and Metro PCS. Tickets start at $15. Restrictions apply. University of Phoenix Stadium, October 7th. Visit monsterjam.com.
Equip yourself for high-performance sleep. Get your beauty rest for less during the Beauty Rest High-Performance Sleep Sale. Visit beautyrestretailers.com or get yours at Spencer's TV and Appliance.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
This is Michelle Cornelius Toft filling in today for Bob Roth from Cypress HomeCare Solutions. If you're just tuning in today, I am here with Bruce Stec from Dispatch Health. This is an urgent care who has just come into Phoenix that can treat people in their home. Why Phoenix? I love Phoenix and I'm here, but what is it that decided we're going to leave beautiful Denver and come to gorgeous Phoenix? Although today, truly, the weather is beautiful.
Oh, it was
here.
absolutely fantastic. 73 when I woke up this morning, reading the newspaper by the pool.
Perfect.
This is why we live in Phoenix, Arizona.
Absolutely. So what is it that brought Dispatch Health here?
So we understand the needs of the senior population. Over 60% of the individuals that we treat in the Denver market are actually of the senior population themselves. So we saw that there was a huge need here. Phoenix is not a stagnant city by any means. I think I read recently that we're the second largest growing metropolitan area in the entire country, only behind Las Vegas, kind of our next largest city neighbor, just north of us. And so when you're looking at the population and how, in general, it's just aging in the United States, this is becoming a huge area for retirees. As we all know, we have the folks coming down and visiting us from Minnesota, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and all of these other northern states so they can enjoy what we're enjoying.
Thanksgiving. That's why we're
Who
here.
wouldn't? That's quite
right.
frankly why I'm here as well. So we understand that patient population, and we do a really good job servicing that many of the diseases, disorders, and ailments that they come down with.
You said only 60% of the folks that you serve, though, are elderly. Who all do you serve?
So we have served patients all the way from 2 months of age to 107.
Wow.
Yeah, quite a range.
That is a huge range. Mm-hmm. So not just for the elderly.
It's not just for the elderly. One thing that we always share with people, too, is while a majority of the population is in the elderly population, we also serve the mother at home who has 2 or 3 kids who, one of the kids gets sick, you have to pack up all of the kids, take them to an urgent care, even worse, take them to an ED, wait for an unknown amount of time. Now you can get that exact same treatment in the home setting if a kid comes down with an asthmatic issue, with the flu, if they have a fever, if they just need some rehydration, many things like that we can now do in the comforts of your own home, and you don't have to go through the onerous task of clothing all of the kids, packing them in the car. We just come to you.
Well, and I know one of the folks that works for Dispatch Health, who's not with us today, Michonne, said that she actually used your services because she had bronchitis and didn't feel like going out and sitting and waiting, and called the services and had you come right to her house.
Exactly. So even we, as working for Dispatch Health, will also use Dispatch Health because of the convenience factor.
That's a great statement as to what you do. Now, during our first break here, you were telling me a story about one of the patients that you have seen recently.
Yes.
Can you share that?
So this gentleman was changing a light bulb, and he was up on a ladder changing the light bulb. Unfortunately, the light bulb itself broke in his hand, and while he was on the ladder, he was kind of showered down with glass, and in doing so, unfortunately, a bit of it got into his eye.
Ouch.
And so he called us. We were there on scene in less than an hour, and we were able to do a full evaluation, a full workup on him, determined that there was no more glass in the eye. We were able to flush it out and really treat him again in the home setting. He didn't have to go to an urgent care and try to drive with impaired vision.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that, for a lot of folks, if you are ill and you're living alone, getting anywhere requires either an ambulance ride or driving yourself. And when you don't feel well, even if it's dehydration, even if it's a urinary tract infection, driving may not be the safest choice.
Exactly.
So obviously he didn't call 911 to get you.
How
did he call?
Well, there's 3 major ways that people can request care. While I don't remember the specifics of exactly how he requested care, for us, the most common way is the phone number. So you just pick up the phone, give us a call. It's area code 480-493-3444. Who you'll be met with a clinically trained personnel of Dispatch Health. They'll go through and you'll tell them what your signs are, your symptoms are, and they'll say, yes, we can treat you in the home. I have a few more questions. So you kind of get put in that yellow category, where we'll then bring in an emergency trained physician, another one of the advanced practice providers, to say, yes, this is appropriate for us to come to your home, or no, it's not. If it's not, then we will call 911 and we'll put you in touch with them and then have the ambulance service come out to you. And that's the most common way that people initiate care. I think that's around 80% of the time. However, we have some really cool, very interesting other mechanisms for care delivery request. One way is www.dispatchhealth.com. That's our main website. You can go on and you can request care that way. The other very ingenious way is we have an application, an app, both on the Android store as well as the Apple store. And what that allows you to do is the app will physically geolocate you, meaning it will find where you are in Phoenix, gives you that address, and says, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, what are your current issues today? And so let's say you think you have strep throat. So I've had a sore throat. I've had it for 2 days. It's only getting worse. Here's what my fever is. And it's a really simple, easy text box where you can put all of that information in. And in doing so, you hit submit, and then we'll give you a call. So kind of the call piece picks right back up so that we can make the determination, yes, we can see you, or no, you probably need to go ahead and go to the ED.
Is this available 24 hours a day? Are there certain days and times that people should be calling?
So we're open 7 days a week, 365 days a year, holidays included.
Wow.
Currently, we're working from 8 to 8. However, we will likely extend that in the next couple of months as we add on more cars, which we call rovers, to 8 to 10.
That's excellent, and still beats many of the urgent care hours that are out there, and 7 days a week, including holidays.
Including holidays. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, those are the times that are really inconvenient for people to get out and go somewhere. So
well, and you don't want to give up your football game while you're waiting. You can sit and continue to watch while you wait for the doctor to come to you.
Exactly.
Now, you talked about prescriptions and things like that. How does that work? Do you carry it? Do you give out the prescription, or are people going in to fill it?
So we have a pretty advanced formulary of things that we can administer. As I had said, we can give you, rehydrate you. We carry some corticosteroids. We also have antibiotics that are on board. We do not carry narcotics. We don't carry anything that's really high potency like that. And that's for safety purposes, of course. However, we do have full prescriptive authority, so we can go ahead and write prescriptions if it's deemed necessary, depending on what you present with.
So that person that you presented with maybe strep throat or urinary tract infection, can
we would
write
give
that prescription and be filled very easily then.
Exactly. So we would give the first dose of the antibiotic and then write you a prescription for everything else.
And that's another thing that you don't find, folks giving that first dose of antibiotics right there on the scene.
Exactly. So if it's inconvenient for you to pack everything up and then go out immediately to get the rest of your prescription, sometimes people don't take that first dose for hours, sometimes even longer. We go ahead and do that on scene at the time.
That's just truly fabulous for folks to be able to have that accessible to them. How do people pay for this?
So a few different ways. We have a pretty extensive list of services that we provide. If you are going to pay with cash only, and this is the worst case scenario, it's $275. And that is all in, no matter what we do. If we come in and we do a pretty general assessment and say, we think you have a simple muscle strain, here's what you need to do, all the way up to us hanging bags of IV fluid, starting the IV line, it's all included in the $275. We are also partnering with all of the major payers. Currently, we are on contract with the Medicare, Medicaid, and Humana, but the other payers are actually coming down with and signing with us in the next 30 to 45 days is what we suspect. So if that's the case, then we bill out just like an urgent care would for many of the payers. If it's not an urgent care copay, then it's going to be that of a specialist. Either way, most of the time it's less than $50. If you're on Medicare and you have a supplemental plan, sometimes it's $0 to $5. Again, very similar in pricing to what an urgent care would have.
Are they billing out for that? Is that something that the family has to have on hand at the time?
We bill. So we bill the insurance payer directly. If it's a cash or the cash rate of $275, then we actually collect that at the time that you call the 480-493-3444 number.
Excellent. If you're just tuning in today, this is Michelle Cornelius Toft, guest hosting for Bob Roth with Cypress HomeCare Solutions. We've been talking with Bruce Stec from Dispatch Health, and we're coming up on our halftime break here. Comes a lot quicker than we expect. When we come back, we're going to find out more about what they're doing here in the Phoenix market, how they can really help folks who are at home needing urgent care services. It's an amazing program that is really starting to take off here and can benefit our listeners. If you have missed the first half, please feel free to log on to cypresshomecare.com, and you'll be able to listen to all of the shows that we've done over the last 4 years. We will be back soon.
As we reach the bottom of the hour, we pause for a look at the world's news. Then we're back with Money Talk. We're Money Radio 1510 AM and 105.3 FM.
The United Nations Security Council is discussing its next step after North Korea fired a missile over Japan. Correspondent Will Ripley reports on the reaction of Pyongyang's two closest allies.
You have China and Russia, both with veto power on the UN Security Council, who are in many ways showing some more empathy for North Korea than the rest of the international community and certainly the United States. You heard Vladimir Putin talking about the need for dialogue, saying that sanctions are a dead-end road, and that is somewhat similar to what the Chinese have been saying, although they have held up their enforcement of UN Security Council resolutions. They haven't bought North Korean coal for months, and they have pledged to crack down harder along their ports of entry in regarding trade with North Korea.
ISIS has claimed responsibility for today's bomb blast on a London subway train that left 29 people injured. Authorities in the UK continue to hunt for suspects. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 61 points. I'm Ann Cates.
From PBS and Emmy Award-winning directors Ken Burns and Lynn Novick comes a landmark documentary event, the Vietnam War.
What was it all about? Was it worth it?
It was extremely traumatic, like the ground was suddenly cut from under you.
See the series Vanity Fair calls a monumental achievement, the Vietnam War. Tune in or stream, starting Sunday at 8/7 Central, only on PBS.
If only we were born knowing how to plan for life's big expenses. Brought to you by TIAA.
Saving is absolutely key. What happens if you want to buy a house? That can be a big chunk of change. Good thing we're thinking about it now. Inspection fees, closing costs, escrow. When I'm eyeing that mid-century modern, I want to strike while the iron's hot.
Whether you're looking to save, invest, or plan your retirement, let us help you start planning today at TIAA.org.
For a happier life, remember, it's your money. Be smart with it. And listening every day to Money Radio will cause your money IQ to go up, way up.
Hey, Money Radio listeners, this is Gary Kaufbaum. Make sure you tune in for my show, Investor's Edge. You'll get my take on the markets and the world and what to look out for tomorrow. Investor's Edge is one of Money Radio's longest-running shows, so don't miss it.
You can listen to Investor's Edge Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. here on Money Radio 1510 AM and 105.3 FM.
Diversify your IRA with higher-earning real estate investments. Using a self-directed IRA, you can invest in real estate. Investment property experts will show you how to invest in real estate this Thursday at the IPX Wealth Workshop. Whether you're looking for income or growth, IPX has the right investment opportunities for you. For growth, consider purchasing one of their turnkey renovated and occupied investment properties. They'll take care of placing the tenant and managing the property so you can profit in the appreciating real estate market. Plus, they can help you purchase with conventional financing or your own self-directed IRA. For income, consider investing in one of their trust deeds where you can earn 9% annual returns secured by real estate. Retire sooner than you have dreamed. Seats are limited. Reserve yours today. Diversify your IRA and let investment property experts show you how to take advantage of the current real estate market. Sign up today. AZInvestmentPropertyExperts.com. That's AZInvestmentPropertyExperts.com or call 602-254-6244.
Are you tired of your power bill going up year after year? Who knows when and how much the power company will raise its rates in the future? That's why you need to listen Saturday mornings at 7:30 a.m. to the Ask Solar Sandy show. Solar Sandy can save you your hard-earned money on a bill that you are already paying. Just think, you can save thousands on your electric bill and control the cost of your electricity and avoid unexpected rate hikes. Listen Saturday mornings at 7:30 a.m. to the Ask Solar Sandy show on Money Radio 1510 a.m. and 105.3 FM.
To relieve muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This fast-acting foam is clinically proven to relieve leg and foot cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today at TheraWorksRelief.com.
I'm Bruce Vail with Your Money Now. Home prices continue to climb as demand continues to outweigh supply. The real estate brokerage Redfin says home prices surged 7.7% in August from a year ago. The national median sale price was $293,000, but sales were down 5.5% compared to last year as the number of homes for sale plummeted more than 12%. Macy's will increase by 20% the number of workers it hires during the holiday shopping season to staff distribution and warehouses that support its online business. But total holiday hiring will fall. The department store operator said it will hire 18,000 holiday workers to fulfill online orders, up about 3,000 from last year, but total hiring will be down because the retailer is operating fewer stores than last year. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is ahead 57 points. That's your money now.
It's easy to get the timeless look of hardwood for your home with great flooring deals from Lumber Liquidators. This week, get 10 to 23% off all Dream Home X2O water-resistant laminate. Save big on wood look waterproof floors, like 47% off Prairie Oak wood look tile. Or choose solid pre-finished hardwood, including exotic styles, and get discount prices from $2.99. Plus more deals from 39 cents and special financing. Now is the time. Get to your local Lumber Liquidators today.
Getting your flu shot at Walgreens is easier than ever. Just walk right in, and there's no cost to you with a $0 copay with most insurance. Plus, when you get a flu shot, you help provide a life-saving vaccine to a child in need through the UN Foundation. Swing by your local Walgreens anytime to get a flu shot and help make a difference. Get a shot, give a shot. It's that easy. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
Through August 31st, 2018, for every immunization given, Walgreens will donate 22 cents up to $2 million. Vaccine restrictions apply. Talk to your pharmacist to learn more.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress Home Care Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. My name is Michelle Cornelius Toft, and I'm filling in today for Bob Roth. If you're just tuning in today, our guest is Bruce Stec from Dispatch Health. If you've missed the first or second segment, you can go to our website at cypresshomecare.com, and if you click on the media link button, scroll down to the radio show, and you can find this show and all of its segments and about 160 other shows that we've been bringing to you for the past 4 years. Bruce, when we left off the last segment, we had talked some about paying for the Dispatch Health services, an in-home urgent care, and how folks can do that. You talked about it being covered under Medicare and other insurances, and a private pay cost of $270. When I talk to families who have used ambulance to get to the emergency room, their costs are significantly higher than that. How do you do this with your little car that comes out?
Right. As we had said before, we have, the little tiny Prius that has a ton of about 70% of the equipment, materials, and supplies that an ED would have, an emergency room would have. The economics of what we're doing just absolutely makes sense. When the average ED visit is in excess of $2,000, and then, as you had mentioned, if it necessitates some kind of ambulance transport, that can be another $800 to $1,000 on top of that. And so this is where we fit in so well. Technology really has afforded us the opportunity to be able to condense so many of the common pieces of equipment that we've used in the emergency room into many of these little Pelican cases that we throw in the back of the Prius. We have a CLIA certified lab where we can run all of those labs. We can look at strep test. We can look at urinalysis dipstick test to really see kind of where you are. And this is the same equipment that's being used in the emergency room now. So the quality of care is equal, if not greater, than that of the emergency room, because it's the convenience factor that Dispatch Health really helps to bring to the community.
So right now in Phoenix, one Prius around town. This sounds like something that could really expand. And we planned for it to. Right now, the second Prius is coming down from Denver, and so that will be added to the fleet starting on 10/2, so October 2nd, just right around the corner. Finalizing the plans, buying all the secondary equipment for that vehicle as well, and then we plan on expanding even more after that. You're in Denver, you're in Phoenix. Are you in other parts of the country too?
Not currently. Phoenix right now is lucky enough to be the first city outside of the state of Colorado. Right now we've been operating in Denver, Colorado Springs, and up in Boulder, Colorado since 2015. Going from the pilot of seeing, will this even work? What are the economics? Can we actually have a great quality of care while saving money? Was wildly successful. We've built that from one car that was positioned in the South Metro Denver Fire Department to over 7 now at this point in time. So we continue to expand, and looking at the first catchment of 500 people in 18 months, now we're in excess of 10,000. Probably going to hit almost 12,000 just in Denver, Colorado in the few short years that we've been there, and we're adding more vehicles all the time. Right now, Phoenix just came up live about 1 month ago. We're looking, and we'll be expanding to Richmond, Virginia, all the way across the country, and then our northern neighbor of Las Vegas, Nevada, all within 2017, and likely many other cities in 2018.
Well, because it's such a benefit to folks, to not only financially, but to be able to sit in your home. Now, with Cypress HomeCare Solutions, I'm the director of our memory care program. So I work with our families who have dementia, and I help the care partners. And I know how challenging it is to try to get to a doctor. It's nearly impossible to get folks to an emergency room because a person with dementia doesn't know why they're there. They want to go. The sights and the sounds, the noises can be overstimulating. They can be very agitating. I was talking with somebody this morning whose mother was in the emergency room and then the hospital, and he said to the hospital, well, I should probably stay with her overnight. No, she's fine. Well, I should probably stay. Well, he didn't stay because the hospital said not to, and she was up all night long trying to leave. Because with dementia, she doesn't remember why she's there. She doesn't remember what's going on. And folks with dementia will pull IVs out. They will refuse medications. They can be very verbally or physically aggressive only because they're scared, only because they're confused. To have a service like yours that can come to the home where somebody is very comfortable, they're in an environment that they're familiar with, they're with people that are quiet and comfortable. There's not a lot of distractions going on. There aren't those people running up and down the halls, yelling up and down the halls. There aren't call lights or emergency sounds going off, people talking overhead that can seem very odd or strange to a person with dementia, to have noise coming out of your ceiling. And here they can be in their favorite chair. They can have their favorite game playing on the TV, be watching their team. That sounds so much more comfortable than the care partners that I know who are struggling to get their loved one treated. That's fabulous.
Yeah, well, thank you. You really hit the nail right on the head. These are a lot of the patients that we see. And you're right. Convenience is that new level of quality where they don't have to be transported to a hospital. That is scary. It has very unique sounds, very unique people. People walking around. That's really intimidating. If you're in the comforts of your own home, there's just going to be an advanced practice provider and an EMT that are working to help support your care, and of course any other care members that may be involved in your care as well.
Well, and I know with folks who have dementia, urinary tract infections are very, very common. Urinary tract infections often come with symptoms that are confusion, agitation, aggression, potentially hallucinations. And I've worked with folks who have tried to jump out of the back of a car on the way to a doctor's office because they suddenly didn't recognize their son-in-law who was driving them at the time. And that's very scary to try to transport somebody who is agitated and confused and very scared because of that. You said that urinary tract infections are one of the top things that you treat.
It is it's the number one thing that we treat here at Dispatch Health. And you're right. Everything that you just listed is very commonplace for people that present with the UTI. And again, we can come in the home setting, we can deliver that first dose of an antibiotic to help get them better, and then we'll go ahead and write the prescription for everything else that they may need thereafter.
In Phoenix, you said that you're expanding. Where are you right now? What location should people say, I am calling Dispatch Health because I'm in their area?
Sure. I guess the easiest way to describe it is that if you're looking at the most western border, we are east of I-17, south of the 101, which really encompasses that central corridor of Phoenix, as well as Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, and Tempe. Now that's just our current catchment area, and we wanted to do a lot of things and make sure that we're still delivering high quality care in a very timely manner, because those are the things that we were founded upon. That's truly our foundation at Dispatch Health, and we want to make sure that we're able to uphold that. We will continue to expand that primary service area as we continue to grow. We bring on the second rover car, and looking to do even more across the entire Phoenix metropolitan area in the very, very near future.
That's great. I know a lot of West Valley folks who can certainly use this service as well. We are coming on the end of our third segment already. This is so fast. This is Michelle Toft with Cypress HomeCare Solutions here with Bruce Stec. And when we return, we're going to finish our conversation with Dispatch Health and how they're helping in Phoenix.
Bill Gunderson's Nationwide Best Stocks radio show is now on Money Radio 1510 AM and 105.3 FM. Every morning from 9 to 10 a.m., professional money manager Bill Gunderson will talk about the economy, markets, and the best stocks now. Bill Gunderson is also the inventor of the Best Stocks Now app and the writer of the weekly Best Stocks Now newsletter. If you like to invest in the markets, this is the show for you. You will not want to miss one episode. Visit GundersonCapital.com for more info. That's GundersonCapital.com.
As a small business owner, you're always on the go. So how can you make sure you never miss a customer's call? Grasshopper. With Grasshopper, you get all the features of a business phone system. That's right. Grasshopper turns your cell phone into a business phone system that's affordable and incredibly easy to use. Get a toll-free or vanity phone number that's memorable and professional. Customers are forwarded to your phone and connected to you or your team wherever you are. And with our app, your outgoing calls and texts show up as your professional phone number. We'll transcribe your voicemails and send them to your email so you can determine their importance at a glance. So whether you're always on the go or working from home and need to keep business calls separate, or you simply want a professional tone, Grasshopper makes it happen. Set up your account in just minutes. There are no long-term contracts and support is 24/7. Get your calls, stay connected, thrive. Now get $20 off your plan when you visit grasshopper.com/radio. Grasshopper.com/radio.
If you're ready to rumble this football season, then Gallagher's is the place for your pregame meeting. Check out their game day, happy hour specials on food, spirits that will surely score with everyone on your team, including their half-pound wood-fired burgers, their salads, sandwiches, house-smoked barbecue ribs, and a great kids menu with the best baked wings in town. Get into the game at one of their 4 Valley locations and see why they are your home team any day, not just game day. Gallagher's, spirited food and sports.
Gateway Classic Cars is celebrating their 16th showroom, now open in Deer Valley, Arizona. The first 50 consignments are free. For more information, call them at 866-430-2345. You don't want to miss this.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
Hi, this is Michelle Cornelius Toft, and I am filling in today for Bob Roth. I'm here with Bruce Stec from Dispatch Health, and we've been talking about how Dispatch Health can provide urgent care in your home. If you've missed the first 3 segments, log into CypressHomeCareSolutions.com and check our media linked button where you'll be able to catch the show and everything that we've been talking about up until now. So, Bruce, we've gone through what you can do and where you can do it and all of that. I know that one of the reasons that some of the folks I work with say they like to go to the emergency room, is because they know that their doctor will get the information from the emergency room. And as much as I sometimes say, that you can get a report, you can give it to your doctor, people like knowing that their doctor is involved in their care. How do you involve doctors in the care through Dispatch Health?
So we know that we are not primary care medicine providers at all, but we're really there to meet the urgent and emergent need that people present with. And for us, our goal is to really loop that primary care physician back into the overall care model that we've been able to create. So if or when you were to call on Dispatch Health to come out to your home setting, we use an electronic medical record system called Athena, and that's how we document everything that we're doing. We're also part of the Arizona Health Information Exchange, which allows us to see some of your previous records medically to get a better evaluation of things that you've suffered from in the past.
So this is something other doctors would have entered into a system, and you have access to viewing.
Exactly. So we can look at those some of those prior medical records, and then once our providers finalize that note for that visit of care, then it goes into that HIE. On top of that, then we immediately take the note from the episode of care that we just rendered and send it directly to the primary care physician or to a care team, depending on what your living situation is. So if you're in an assisted living home, we try to loop everybody back into the loop, which is a great thing because too oftentimes patients are transported or go to an urgent care, but their primary care physician never really knows or understands what that episode may have been. We do our best at getting that information directly to them. And it's as soon as the note is finalized by the provider, it's sent over via fax, and they're able to see it and receive it to follow up on Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
So your primary care is still knowing what's going on in your situation. They're still involved in that care.
Exactly. So if we had to prescribe a particular medication, then they would pretty much by the end of the day, they would have a better understanding of kind of what happened in that episode.
And then if something's going on and they have to go to their primary care the next week or the couple weeks after, they have a note of what happened at your visit.
Exactly.
Okay. That sounds, I think with technology today, it sounds amazing, the things that we can do. That it's no longer pulling the file off of the chart behind the receptionist desk at the doctor's office and only having that access. You're really sharing it with a lot of folks then. Exactly.
And Dispatch Health really is a very technologically based company and organization. We lean on technology on a very regular basis, whether it's using our CLIA certified lab that sits in the back of the Toyota Prius because technology has been able to pare down these massive pieces of equipment formerly down into things that we can fit in these little tiny black boxes, to the electronic medical record system, and so on and so forth. So it's pretty remarkable what we're able to do now because of that tech feature.
What if they come out to the home, we have all this tech, but what's in the boxes is not going to meet their need? What do they do? I could imagine that people might be afraid. What if it's bigger than Dispatch Health can handle?
And sometimes that happens. As we had mentioned before, we go through that screening process of the red, yellow, green just to really determine where you are and if this is something that we can treat. A couple of things. Sometimes in that 60-minute time frame, someone declines pretty quickly. If we arrive on scene and this is something that is just a little bit too intensive for us to be able to treat in the home setting, our providers will stay there with the person, with the patient, and we wait for 911 to actually arrive. We do an official clinical handoff to say, this is what we originally came out for. This is actually what we're seeing. Here's why we're calling you 911, and then they will go ahead and transport you to the emergency department.
And if you're going to wait for 911, great to do it with a medical practitioner right there with you.
Exactly.
To be able to make that handoff and keep you stable during that time. If you talked about having labs, what if somebody needs x-rays?
So x-rays, we have partnered with a couple of different companies in the Phoenix market. If you are unable to leave the home setting, we can actually have an x-ray company and an imaging company come out to you to render that care. If you are able to move, then we can write you the script and write you the order so that you can go get those same x-rays and images completed elsewhere.
And you already have a script then. You don't have to see a doctor again before you get your x-ray. It's ready to go. That is just such a service that you're providing. in communicating back to the patients and the care team, you still recommend that they take the prescription to the same pharmacy they've been going then, but you can start the first dose.
Exactly. And so when we write that script to the pharmacy, we'll ask you, we'll say, which pharmacy do you typically go to, or which one is the closest to your home? Because sometimes where people get seen, whether it's by a specialist or their primary care provider, may not be the closest in proximity to getting a prescription filled. So we go ahead and add that level of convenience on top of that.
Excellent. Now remind our listeners again what insurances you take, how to get in touch with you.
Sure. So currently we are on Medicare, Medicaid, and Humana. However, we will be extending that to all commercial payers probably within the next 30 to 45 days, if not by the end of October. So we have a pretty extensive list. We're on all major commercial payers in the Denver market, and we plan on doing the exact same thing here in Phoenix. You can get a hold of us by 3 different methods. The most common is the phone number, 480-493-3444. The website, dispatchhealth.com, or you can find us on the App Store for both Apple and for Android. Download the app, and you can request the care process that way.
And although we're focusing on aging and we're focusing on the aging folks, you had said earlier this is really 2 to 107. 2 months to 107.
2 months to 107, yes.
So folks of any age can use this service. It is that person, the mom at home who has multiple children and one is sick, and let's get service and care for that one right away. It's the employee who has had to go home for the day or has taken the day off because they can't be at work and need somebody urgently to help care for that, as well as the guy who is fixing and changing his light bulb and has it break there.
Exactly. We've even had people call us from an urgent care before. They were told that they would have to wait an extensive amount of time, and they said, "How long is it going to take for you to come see me?" And so we'll give them a time frame like we do on every single patient. Here's what our estimated time of arrival is. He left the urgent care, went back home. We met him in the home setting and delivered care there instead of him having to wait.
That is, what a great story, a great testament to what you're able to do and the whole reason that you exist, the whole reason why we're able to help people in their home, be healthy in their home. That is great. Thank you so much, Bruce. We are coming up on the end of our time together. We appreciate you being here and sharing this new information with the Phoenix market.
Thank you so much.
My name again is Michelle Cornelius Toft. I'm with Cypress HomeCare Solutions. If you're looking to get in touch with Cypress, cypresshomecare.com or 602-264-8009. We can help with all of your home care needs. And when people are not feeling well and need urgent care, Bruce, your number?
You can reach us at 480-493-3444.
Very easy to get in touch with Dispatch Health. And again, if you do have any questions or want to hear more about this segment, go ahead and go on to cypresshomecare.com. All of our segments are there under our media link. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
There's no place like home. You've been listening to Bob Roth's Health Futures. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call Cypress Home Care Solutions at 602-264-8009. That's 602-264-8009. Or visit cypresshomecare.com. Be sure to join Health Futures with Bob Roth every Friday at noon, right here on Money Radio 1510 and 105.3 FM.
Hey, Money Radio listeners, this is Gary Kaltbaum. Make sure you tune in for my show, Investor's Edge. You'll get my take on the markets and the world and what to look out for tomorrow. Investor's Edge is one of Money Radio's longest-running shows, so don't miss it.
You can listen to Investor's Edge Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. here on Money Radio 1510 AM and 105.3 FM.
Money Radio 1510
and 105.3 FM.
KFNN Mesa, Phoenix. Taking a look at the market. Well, it looks like the Dow's up 63 points at 22,269. The S&P 500 was up 4 at 24.99. The Nasdaq up 18 at 64.47. Gold down $4 at 13.24 an ounce, and oil up a nickel at $49 a barrel.
When people want to talk about money, this is the place they come to. And there's more on the way after this break for the latest news.